My next guest is coming off another impressive win, this time on short notice over Emily Ducote, UFC Fight Night on May 20th. It is Loopy Godinez back here on the program. Loopy, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I didn't pick up another win, though, on the weekend like you did. Very impressive performance. This fight kind of turned into a bit of a kickboxing match kind of early on. You found a lot of success, I know, with that right hand early on in the fight. Is that kind of how you expected the fight to play out, or what were your overall impressions kind of looking back at your performance?
Yeah, it was pretty much what we were drilling the whole 2 weeks and a half that I had. So we already knew, like we knew how she was going to come out. And, you know, of course we knew, like we saw the opening for my right hand and keep doing that. And it was working.
Yeah, no, it certainly did. How was it fighting at 120? I know that was something kind of leading into the fight that with the short notice, you didn't want to, have those extra 5 pounds.
Yeah, it was fine. It was great. I love it, and I feel like we both were at the same weight, even when I fight, because I don't get super heavy anymore. So, but then I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense. Like, why go all the way down to 115 and like we pretty much the same, I don't think, like, because when I saw her, the dehydration and stuff, she wasn't like over drinking or anything, and me neither. So I just thought, like it just makes it, just focusing more on the performance instead of the weight cutting, just feeling good. And especially when I took it in 2 weeks, in 2.5. So I just rather train hard, eat good, feel good, and then go and perform, right?
Yeah. And then you did perform. Absolutely. You mentioned just having 2 weeks to prepare for. Was there anything in the fight that maybe you weren't expecting that surprised you?
No, honestly, how it played out, she wasn't liking it upstairs, so she tried a few takedowns. She tried to take me down. She couldn't, so that was good. Yeah, I'm really happy, honestly. I really enjoyed that fight, and yeah.
Now, I think most people, when it went to the judges, felt like you were going to get the decision. Was there any nerves at all? Because again, we've seen some weird decisions lately.
Yeah, we have seen some weird decisions for sure. No, honestly, I wasn't thinking about it. I did feel like I did my job, what I had to do to get the win. That being said, of course, it can go either way. We never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really happy with how I come out, how I felt. So overall, I won. I really felt that I won. Not just the fight, but on the other side, just like pre-fight and walking out and the way I'm feeling, I'm just, I feel more mature now, and slowly started to change everything. My body changing is just, it's just great.
Good. That's great. Someone you fought in the past was headlining your card, Angela Hill. She, of course, fought Mackenzie Dern. I imagine you got a chance to watch the fight. That's your division. What did you think of how that played out with Mackenzie looking pretty dominant in that performance?
Yeah, she looked great, honestly. Probably has to do some with that anger or some frustration that she had from her personal life. And she left, she did great. She did an awesome job. Really excited for this division for sure.
Yeah, and I think that kind of puts her back in the contender spot as well. So it was really cool to see that. And after the fight, did you get a chance to kind of celebrate and enjoy yourself after the fight, or what did you get up to after the matchup?
Yeah, we went to get some hamburgers and some like big milkshakes with like, one was cake and the other one it was like this ice cream cookie thing. It was really good. And then just hang out with the team and take it easy. I stay a few days extra just to make sure my body felt fine. Otherwise, I will get the PI to work on it or something. But luckily, I didn't go hurt, just few bruises, and I'm ready. I'm ready to get back to training and here for the next fight.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. So you went to the PI, like you mentioned there. So everything's like A-okay by the sounds of it. No like major injuries or anything. That's one of the benefits, I'm sure, of going there is you can get kind of like a checkup,
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and honestly, in the fight, it was just bruises here and there and my foot from the kicking and stuff. But honestly, I feel great. Next week, I'm getting back to training, and that's it. Just wait for my next fight.
Now, UFC 289, any talks? I don't know if you've spoken to your management at all. Any talks about like just attending that card or anything? Do you plan on being there for the event?
Yeah, I think I'm going. I gotta double check that, but I think I'm going. Yeah.
I mean, assuming the UFC hooks you up with tickets, because I don't know if you've taken a look. They're kind of pricey, which I understand because they haven't been back in a couple of years.
Yeah, they are. I good for reminding. I gotta ask.
Hit up
Jay.
your manager. That's, I'm sure you can pull some strings, right? So
Yeah, I
that'll
got.
help as well.
I totally forgot.
On that note, I might be wrong about this. Jasmine Jasudavicius, did she not reach out to you? I think about potentially doing some training. I think I remember her mentioning that in our interview when she said that. But you obviously had the fight.
Yeah, I have my ticket and everything. I was leaving. I was gonna leave, and I got this fight, and I was like, like I was really looking forward to train with her. I trained with her a little bit in the past when she was here. But yeah, I was really excited to get rounds there and all of that. But this happened, and I'm sure I'm gonna get out there soon after her fight. We can make something happen. So,
Yeah, and we talked about this last time. One of the cool things is that there's a couple women in the UFC, Jamie Lynn Horth, Jasmine. So it's kind of cool that you guys can all link up and do some training together, right? It's kind of convenient that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna start training with Jamie again next week too. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
So are you going to go, you mentioned this kind of to me in the last interview, plans to go back to Mexico. Obviously, we're still waiting to hear when Alexa's going to have her rematch with Valentina. I would assume it's going to get announced soon. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the next step. They're gonna come here. Irene is gonna fight. We're gonna enjoy the win, and then maybe in the next month or so, I'll probably go there to train. Or yeah, I don't know exactly when am I going, but that's the next step.
Okay, cool. And when would you like to have your next fight? Just with kind of everything you just mentioned there. Are you kind of looking at the fall, or do you want to get one in the summer? What are you kind of thinking of?
Yeah, I say September. But now, honestly, I would love to fight the same time as in the same car as Alexa. So if it's August, September, doesn't matter. I just I think it will be really good to do a camp together.
Yeah.
Once that fight get announced, I will push it, like.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And I guess, yeah, you kind of do your camp and all that, like you said, in Mexico. Once you have a fight booked, I'm assuming, because you'll just train at home in the meantime, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Just kind of curious to get your thoughts on this. They ended up going with Weili Zhang and Amanda Lemos for the title fight. Were you a bit surprised that they didn't opt to go with Yan Xiaonan after her big win over Jessica Andrade?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. Yeah, but I mean, that's. You never know with the matchmakers with the UFC. Like, you can get the call anytime, no matter if you're here or there. What happened? Like, it's just opportunities, and I mean, it's great. I think it's gonna be a great fight too.
Well, here's my theory on it, and I want to get your opinion on this. I think they needed another title fight for that Boston card. Like, even this Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley fight, like, we're hearing it may not happen. I don't know. So I think you add that title fight on there, it's good. Yan Xiaonan just fought. Maybe they're like, hey, we'll give you some time. Because I think if they do Weili Zhang and Yan Xiaonan, that's got to be in Asia, right? Like, that's such a huge fight that it would seem weird not to have it overseas, right? Is that kind of no? And by the way, Amanda Lemos deserves her shot. I'm just saying that Weili Zhang, I mean, Yan Xiaonan knocks out Andrade. That's a huge win, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I made her watch a video. Dana saying something like having that fight in China or something.
I think they have to. It's just that is the biggest fight they could make, period. And Asian MMA, that's such a huge fight, right? So, talking about two of the biggest stars in Asia, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Any opponents in mind next, or is it just one of those things you leave that up to your coaches and management?
Yeah, I don't really have any opponent. Whoever they give me, I'll train and get another win under my belt.
There you go. You'll fight anyone. Okay, I want to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions here. So whatever comes to mind first, there's no wrong answers. I just want to get your opinions on this. Okay, who do you think is the best striker in the UFC?
Alexa.
Who is the best grappler in the UFC?
Diego Lopez.
Okay, who's the funniest fighter in the UFC?
Connor.
Okay, McGregor. If you could have dinner with any fighter, who would it be?
Okay, GSP.
Okay, who would you want by your side in a street fight?
Connor, just because it's gonna be funny too.
Okay, who has the highest fight IQ in the UFC?
I'm going to say I'm going with Alexa right now.
Okay, and what is a dream fight that you want to see?
Valentina and Weili.
My last question before we get out of here. What do you got planned the rest of the week? You mentioned getting back to training. We're getting some great weather here in British Columbia. Are you getting out at all? I think I told you this. Or maybe I did or not, but I went camping at Cultus Lake last week and it was great. It was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, walk the dog, just go for a few hikes with my dog. I spent some time with my family. We're celebrating on the weekend.
Oh, awesome. They're celebrating your fight, I guess?
Yeah. Celebrating, yeah. And Anna and Carl are leaving also to compete. So we just put it all together, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Quick weekend together, and then they're going back to work, to traveling and competing, and me going back to training. Yeah.
Love it. Loopy, thanks so much for the time. You always make time for me. I always appreciate it. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any social media you want to mention, any of your handles or anything, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and everyone that has been, supporting me, and especially now with all the changes that is being made, and I'm making, is being a lot of support with that. So I really appreciate that. And of course, my sponsors, that they've been there since day one.